Welcome to Catch the Craze podcast. I'm your host with the most, Sam the Crazy Man Vera, and George is not with me tonight, but we have a special guest. We have Gregory Martin, aka Mr. Nice Guy, coming on the show. So, without further ado, let's get it.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Catch the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the Dreamer, Medina, and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your mans, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the craze. If you are an independent, catch the craze. Making moves on your own, catch the craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the craze. Join the movement, catch the craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. You know you want to do it. Catch the Craze. All right, welcome to Catch the Craze podcast. I'm your host with the most, Sam the Crazy Man Vera, and tonight, George is on hiatus. George had to work late, so I will be running this ship tonight, and we have a very special guest. His name is Gregory Martin, and I met him, I believe, at the Dallas Fan Festival. We were neighbors. He was right to my left at the Comic-Con, and so I was like, hey, yo, I'd love to have you on the show. He's a fantastic artist, and we're going to talk to him about what he does and his journey in illustration and what his plans are for the new year. So it's going to be a fantastic conversation. But before we begin, if you're new to the show, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe, hit that like button, share it. Let the people know where you get the show from. Catch the Craze podcast. We are a host for indies by indies. When we grow, the indie community grows, and your support goes a long way. And I want to say thank you to the newest 3 subscribers this week on the channel. We appreciate you. Unfortunately, I can't call you out because your accounts are private, so I don't know who you are, but whoever you are, I see you, I know you, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. But when you subscribe to Catch the Craze, occasionally we have raffles for subscribers. And if we don't know who you are, we can't put you into the raffle to win some really cool swag. So, you might want to just keep that account unlocked so that way we can know who you are, so we can actually reward you when the time comes. So we do appreciate that. But yesterday was a fantastic day. Yesterday, I just want to say thank you, everybody who showed up for the live launch party for the Kickstarter for book number 4 of There's an Alien in My Toilet. Because of you, we got funded in 1 hour. In 1 hour, you guys made it happen. I want to say thank you to Aurelis and her kids. The testimonials that you provided really, really warmed my heart. I truly, truly appreciate you. Lori Calcaterra, she made my cheeks hurt. The way she was expressing her admiration for Duty and the series, you couldn't ask for anything more. That was just fantastic. Sarah Cook for joining last night, and Paul Gomez and Dylan, thank you so much. Michael San Martino for sending in those selfies with your kids. I truly appreciate you guys. We're currently now at 20 backers, and and we're trending. We're heading that way. Woo woo! What's up, Aurelis in the house? And we're heading that way. So we're at 20 backers, and I think we're at 134%. So we're on our way to start unlocking that first stretch goal, and we have some really cool swag. And I really want to give you some free stuff. So, help spread the word. Tell your friends. Get the word out there about There's an Alien in My Toilet. Somebody who loves comedy. Somebody who has kids. This is a great series for them. And you're not too old to be young and laugh. If you liked Alf, if you liked, Marvin the Martian, if you like E.T., if you're an old fogey like me and you grew up with Too Close for Comfort and you saw Cosmic Cow, if you like the Muppets, Loud House, today trending. If you like Loud House, Duty has similar comedy to the Loud House, so you'll enjoy Duty. So hit that link. I put the link in the summary. Head over to Kickstarter, subscribe. And we got some new things. I got a couple of podcasters reached out to me today, and they're like, "Hey, do you have a podcast bundle?" So yes, I made it as an add-on tier. So there is an add-on for if you want to promote your Kickstarter, if you want to promote your comic book, if you want to promote the fact that you're going to be in a convention. It's a sponsorship tier, and it's a huge discount, right? So for $50, that's $90 savings, because an episode sponsorship is $35, and you're getting 4 episodes. That means you provide a 30-second commercial, and we will play it one a week for a month, promoting your Kickstarter, promoting whatever it is that you're doing, and drive traffic to you. And we provide the links directing people to who you are. So it's an add-on. It's on the Kickstarter right now. It's backed by popular demand. I had it on the last Kickstarter. I didn't have it on this one, and then I got called out on it. So it's added there. And not only that, but we're down to just three limited edition 6-inch figures. So if you're a Duty fan, if you're a collector, these are limited. You're not going to see this resin anywhere else. When I get time to produce it, they'll be smaller, and they won't be in this form. So this resin, it's a virgin resin. You get to paint it yourself. Comes with the homage cover book and the sticker. So it's a 6-inch resin. You get the variant cover and the sticker of Duty as a soldier, and that's the variant cover to Sergeant Rock. So there's 3 left, and it ends tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If there's any available after 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, whatever's remaining, the price goes up to $150. So you want to take advantage of this price at $100? Well, you can. There's only 3 left. Get that added. Remember, it's not a toy. It's to be displayed. So you can't just throw it around. It's not rubber. It's a resin. That means if you drop it, you could damage it. So you don't want to do that. I know, because I had a resin, Cyberforce figure, and I dropped it, and that bad boy just cracked, and I was so mad. And it was one of those 18-inch tall Cyberforce figures, and I was just, I was horrible. All right, so what else is going on? So we had a great Kickstarter launch party last night. We had a fabulous time, and tomorrow morning you're going to join us, George and I, 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Morning Brew. We'll be back. We'll be talking about a whole lot of topics, including the one from the Crazy Nintendo Less, where you don't know what to work on. How about working on yourself? If you haven't seen that episode, head over to their channel, watch that episode. It's a great episode if you're trying to figure out what your avenue is and where you fit in the scheme of things. So check out that episode. If you don't know what to work on yourself. And if you haven't done so already, check out the Art of Samuel on YouTube. Every week is a new episode. This week's episode that's running right now, it's quick solutions for art storage. I had a problem with space in my closet for all my art and supplies, and I found a solution, an affordable solution. So you want to check that out. It is fantastic. The channel's growing nicely. I mean, I started the channel back up in the first week of December with 40 subscribers, and now we're almost at 200. So thank you for everybody who's subscribed to the art channel. I truly, truly appreciate you. Thank you to the followers on TikTok, on Reddit, on Tumblr. I mean, I've been getting a lot of love for the illustrations, so I appreciate every single one of you out there. Thank you so much. And again, if you haven't done so already, check out This Ain't in My Toilet on Kickstarter right now. Make your pledge, get your copy. You want to laugh, you're going to laugh. It's going to be a fantastic series for you to laugh. So with that said, without further ado, since George is not here and we're not going to be doing the Get Your Meds segment, I'm going to bring in our guest, Mr. Nice Guy. And I'm like, all right, what's so nice about you, buddy? We're going to find out right now. We're going to bring him on, and I'm going to play this commercial. Who's this? Yo, Gilly in the house. What's up? I'm going to play this. I'm going to play the testimonial from Team Aurelius, and then I'm going to bring our guest in. So we're going to play.
I like Getting My Toilet because he goes on crazy adventures. He's funny. He says funny bad words, and he dresses up as crazy stuff like Santa and other stuff. I have Scooby-Doo duty, and I have Batman duty, but my favorite one is Batman, and I like Batman because he's powerful and I love him. And I like Hermie. I like Duty's dog, Hermie. So I really like Alien White Toilet because I also have the picture of him as Jon Snow Duty, and he's with Herman in the picture, and I really love that he tries to make friends and goes on adventures and explores Earth, but he can never really find something good.
That's awesome. What's up, Mr. Nice Guy? Welcome to Catch the Craze podcast.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. You look like you had an expo.
Yeah,
What?
good to
That
be
setup
here.
is awesome.
Yeah, I thought I'd show off some of my stuff and everything. I'm always trying to get into different expos and everything and stuff. So,
That's fantastic.
yeah,
That
trying to
setup
get
is
into a few here and everything.
awesome. Awesome. So, before we begin, let everybody know who you are and what you do.
Yes, of course. I'm Mr. Nice Guy, Gregory Martin. Yeah, I'm the artist. That's who I am.
All right. So we met at, I think, Fan Festival. I believe that's where we met. And so,
Yes,
you
yes,
know,
we did.
yes. And I want to go back before we go forward. So let's talk about your journey into illustration. How did you get into illustration? Who were your influences, and then how have they made an impact in your journey?
Yes, definitely. I've been drawing for pretty much most of my life now. Drawing as long as I could remember. I remember in elementary school, I was really into artwork, but I was in band at the same time as well. And I getting ready to pursue band a little bit more. And I didn't know this, but my art teacher had gone to my mom and she was like, you better make sure that your son pursues art. So long story short, my mom, she was like, you're not going to do band anymore. You're doing art. And I was like, Mom, I want to keep on doing band. And she's like, I don't care. You're doing art. So thank you, Mom. She made me continue with my artwork and everything. But I guess I got busy with life and everything, went off to college, got a job, moved up the ladder in my job and stuff, stopped doing artwork for years. And then one of my friends at the time, she figured out that I did artwork, or I used to do artwork. And the story that I have on my business cards, and I always tell everybody, like November 2020, I was challenged to get back into artwork, just create two pieces of artwork every month. And I started doing that, and I was like, wow, I can't believe I stopped doing artwork for so long. And then just one thing led to another. Another friend of mine, she saw my artwork, and she's like, wait, you're not doing anything with to this market. And she paid for me to go to the market. And after that, someone else was like, oh, you have to do this. You need to go to a Comic-Con. So just one thing led to another. And here I am now.
That's fantastic. So now your story is similar to a lot of artists, right? So reality
Yeah.
sometimes takes over our ambition and dream, right? So what was the
Yeah.
shift when you decided to go to college and to school? What was your major, and how, and why did you choose that over becoming an art major, or if you weren't an art major?
Yeah. I wanted to major in art and everything, but at the time, my father, he paid for my bachelor's degree. I paid for everything else, but he told me he would pay me to go to school. I'm not going to be able to make a living off of that. And my dad, he had intentions and everything and stuff, but went to school, then I majored in youth ministries and communication for my bachelor's, and then my master's degree, I got it in educational leadership. And then I'm what you call it all but dissertation. I went to college to go get my doctoral degree and stopped right at the doctoral, the dissertation. So
Wow.
did school for a long time, worked in education for a while, currently working full-time in a foster care. The art stuff is just part-time as of now, but I enjoy working with kids as well. So like half my artwork is kind of geared towards kids. I'll do SpongeBob related stuff or superheroes. Uh, and then in the art studio I'm now, they're always like going to my art desk and checking out my artwork that I have.
Right. That's fantastic. I mean, so let's talk about that. So you're in school. Were you ever thinking about illustration because you put it on pause for a minute? Was it always on the back of your mind?
Yeah, it was something that was in the back of my mind. I didn't think I would be pursuing it the way I am right now. When I was younger, I wanted to. My childhood dream was to be a comic book author or a graphic novel or something involving
Right.
art, and I kind of just lost that in school. But it was something that always stuck with me. I remember doing Big Brothers Big Sisters. There's a program called Art Buddies, and the
Mhm.
buddy that I was paired with, I did art with him all the time. So it was something that was always around, but it just kind of got put to the burner with over a period of time. But it was something that always just kind of stuck around. So I never just completely stopped doing it.
Wow. So when you decided to go that route with your education, was the plan always to work with the youth?
Um, yeah, I think so. Since high school, I've always enjoyed working with you. It's always been something that even if I do my artwork, I'm still going to do something with the youth.
Right. So what is it about that experience that you find rewarding?
I think it's just making the difference in children's and youth's life and everything, seeing the progress that they can make. I mean, I work in foster care. There's some pretty intense situations that happen every now and then. Been called every single name in the book you could think of when they're escalating and having issues. Um, had all kinds of crazy stories and just different events. But at the end of the day, it's just great seeing the progress that they make and seeing them succeed once they're out of the foster care and becoming adults.
Right, that's fantastic. Because when we met, I mean, you have a very positive aura, a really positive demeanor. How does that benefit you in that environment where things are never the same and sometimes it can go left?
Uh, Um, I think I keep my cool actually because there's some very crazy moments that do happen, and if you don't keep your cool composure, you're going to have situations pop up where I don't know, if you don't keep your cool, they're going to feed into it, and the situation is going to get a lot more intense. You got
Right.
to maintain, as you said, that positive aura and everything as you go into everything.
Now, was that a trait, a skill that you learned through experience or through a mentor, or through just, it was part of the playbook? How did you, because sometimes, human beings, right? You react. The first instinct is to react. The first
Uh-huh.
instinct is to defend yourself, right? So, but when you're in a
Yeah, yeah.
position of influence, when you're in a position of influence, you're on stage. So what was some of those lessons that
Mhm.
you learned that made you realize that what you do at that moment is going to be significant and you really have to make sure you check yourself before you get caught up in something that you can't control?
I think I have my parents to thank for that. My mom used to always call me the gentle giant, but I definitely remember having some minor issues when I was a kid here and there and everything. And I think just it's kind of learned as you go along with the job and everything. There's again definitely been some escalated situations where I've had to remind me myself to keep my cool or just it gets crazy every now and then. So it comes with time.
Right. So now how do you detox? How do you recalibrate from an experience that might have been adverse for you? And when you walk away and you're going
Mhm.
home, how do you not take it home?
Um, I think my artwork helps out a lot with it, actually. But yeah, my artwork definitely helps out a lot with it. The foster care that work at, I actually live at the same time also. So it's kind of hard to escape it because I live at the facility where I work. So I got to be able to have that outlet. So I have more than just artwork for my outlet. I enjoy going to the movies. I go to the gym all the time. Every now and then I'll take some of the kids that I work with me to the gym. But artwork is definitely a major outlet of mine. At the end of the night, I got the keys to the art studio. I just let myself into the art studio and I just go to town on some artwork.
That's awesome. So now a lot of times, at least in my experience, the influence came from when I was a kid. The first experience of me at being an illustrator, and I'm dating myself. So yeah, for everybody out there, it
Mhm.
was Captain Kangaroo. right? And so on television, Captain Kangaroo would say,
Oh,
"All right, kids, we need to draw a bridge on the TV to get to the other side." And so I would take a crayon on the television screen, and so that was my big. That was an
nice.
infancy stage of the that influenced me to be an illustrator. What was it for you?
Dragon Ball Z. I will say it was Dragon Ball Z, and I'll go record saying it's still the best anime to this day. But if it wasn't for Dragon Ball Z, I probably wouldn't be doing art because I remember watching that as a kid and being just like, wow, this is absolutely amazing. I want to try drawing this stuff. And I just started drawing Dragon Ball Z stuff every day. I remember making my own little comic book. So it was Dragon Ball Z that got me into artwork.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So it got you into artwork. What was your first step? So you said, "All right, I want to do that." So what were your first steps? And when we're teaching ourselves when you were young, we don't
Mm,
recognize when whatever we're putting on paper is going to look the form to others, right? Because we draw big heads,
yeah.
small hands. So what was that initial process for you, and then how did it evolve from that point on?
I think I just started drawing Z every day, and I was just like, oh wait, I want to start doing my own stuff and everything. And then again, I have my mom to thank for pushing me into artwork and everything. I took art classes all throughout elementary, middle school, of course, but then high school. Really started developing my skills and got into APS or pre-AP art class and AP art class, and my art teacher, Miss Fox, wherever she is at, God bless her. She definitely a strict teacher. I remember she taught me so much stuff, but I was a clown and I almost got kicked out of that art class. One of my other friends, she used to sit next to me all the time, and one day she just appeared, and my art teacher got into this big old spill, just like, this is a pre AP art class, the college level art class. I am teaching y'all to be artists, and I'm not afraid to kick out any out of my classroom. And she looked at me as she said that. It's like, I need to get my stuff together because my mom will kill me. But yeah, she really challenged me to just really develop my skills as an artist. And when I guess when I pick stuff back up, when I challenged to do an art piece every 2 months, um, I to this day continually study, try pushing myself, and try learning different new skills. My main medium that I use is Prismacolor, but I also edit all my artwork on Adobe Illustrator. Um, Try doing different things to challenge myself, like Inktober. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but that's a challenge that happens. So I'm always looking at different ways where I could challenge myself and learn. I think as an artist, we just gotta keep learning and pushing ourselves.
Isn't Inktober like run by like Jake Parker? Isn't he involved in Inktober?
I honestly don't know who it's run by. That's a good question. I have no clue.
Yeah, because I think it's Jake Parker. He's a fantastic illustrator. You know what I appreciate what you just did when you acknowledged the teacher. And most people forget to acknowledge the people that influenced our journey, right? We all have that. For me, it was
Yeah,
Mrs. Brody when I was in the fifth grade because I couldn't add or subtract for nothing in the fifth grade when I moved from one borough to I went from the hood to a nice community. And when I got to the community, I was dumb as a doornail.
yeah,
And she took me under her wing and she tutored me. And because of that, at the end of the year, I had the highest score in my grade. But she didn't just cast me aside,
that's
and,
awesome.
and they make a significant impact in your life. And when you acknowledge these, I wish I had the opportunity to go back to her, but my sister told me that she passed. I wish I had the opportunity to say thank you so
Oh,
much because of you. You gave me the confidence. So that kudos to you for
mhm.
acknowledging your teacher. So now
Oh, yes.
you went to school, you got your degree, you have a career. Now
Yeah,
the people in your life saying, "Hey, what are you doing? You should be illustrating." There's got to be a struggle
yeah,
mentally, right? There's got to be a struggle because reality, you're paying the bills because you're doing what you went to school for to get an education.
yeah.
But then you're like,
Mm,
this. Can I really do anything in that arena that I walked away from? So tell me about that struggle,
yeah.
and then what made you decide to move forward?
It is definitely a struggle. Yeah, I struggle with that actually every day. Like I went to school for years. Again, I'm called all about dissertation. Literally, I just need to do the dissertation and I need Dr. Martin. But that
That's awesome.
dissertation's a pain. But besides that, it is a struggle. I've worked in foster care about off paper 11 years, on paper 8 years, and then I was a teacher for 5 years. So I went to school for all of that, and then at times it does get frustrating because I do really want to pursue my artwork and I really want to do something with it. I don't know. It is a struggle because there's also the kids that I work with and everything. So they do worry. The kids personally worry, just like, oh, Mr. Greg, are you going to leave us one day? And I try reminding them it's, I want to encourage you guys as you go up and mature to not just be stuck and complacent. Things will happen in life. Things you will change. Changes will come your way. So I'm trying to live that out as an example as well. Sometimes it's harder than others, but I try teaching them to pursue what they love. And what I love is art. So I'm trying to balance that out right now. Sometimes it's harder. Some days it's harder than other days.
Absolutely. I mean, we all know that. I mean, that's why they call them starving artists, right? Because it's a tough nut to crack
Yeah.
in this game. you know. So now you made the decision to go for it. Where did you start? So that you said, all right, today's the day. I'm gonna get back into the game. What was the starting point and why that route?
I think the starting point was just actually that challenge when I was challenged to complete 2 pieces of artwork a month. Originally, I just started as a challenge. It's like, oh yeah, I could complete 2 pieces of artwork a month. I think the original deal, she had told me that if I don't stick to the challenge, like if I mess up once, I would have to cook her like dinner for like a whole week. And I was like, bet, then you'd have to cook me dinner for a whole week. And you know what? I never did get that dinner. I stuck to the challenge for a whole year and I never did get the dinner from her.
Wow, that's
I
awesome.
did stick to the challenge and just opened up the doors for other things.
So I walked away from comics for 10 years. And I found when I got back into the
Mhm.
game that I was a little apprehensive and I had anxiety about because I was rusty when it came to illustration, right? And so
Mhm.
it felt like I had to learn the skills all over again because I was just off.
Yep.
And so how I got through it was what you just said. I was drawing every day. So I did a online stream illustrate, and I decided to do it live in front of an audience. So this way, if
Mhm.
I screwed up live, and it would force me to really work on my craft. So what made you decide, hey,
That's a
I'm going
good
to do
idea.
two drawings a day, and then what were some of the things that you wanted to focus on as an illustrator? Because I know for me, it was about anatomy. What was your focus when you said, I'm getting
Mhm.
back, I'm going to do 2 illustrations a day? What do I want to master during this process?
Yeah. Well, at first, I just the 2 illustrations or 2 drawings a day. I was like, okay, I just want to get it out of the way. And then as I got more into it, I was like, oh, I've really missed doing artwork and everything. And then as I started getting more into it, I looked at my very first piece and I was like, ooh, I could do so much better than that. So like a lot better. Like doing comparison to where I was at 2 years ago with everything to where I'm at now. It's very interesting. But anyways, the thing that I wanted to practice or get more honed down was just like I guess proportions and everything. And
Right,
then I do oh, what's the right word? Perspective drawings
right,
and animation and figures. So I wanted to get the anatomy and proportions and everything all correct, but I also wanted to make sure I had all the blending and everything correct
right.
as well. So it's something I just worked on and told myself, okay, I need to just constantly be in this. So I tried as I was 2 drawings every month. There was something I was just focused on, just like, okay, I need to keep on seeing improvements on things. So I kind of challenged myself in the end, as besides just getting the two drawings a month done.
And that's fantastic because self-reflection, most people have a hard time doing it, right? Really self-assessing. And, because sometimes we're in denial. We
Yeah.
don't want to admit the fact that we have flaws, right? But it's part of life. So when was that turning
Yeah.
point for you when you said, okay, I looked at what I did previously. I see where my journey is. I'm content with where I am now. I'm showing progress. Where was the turning point when you said, now I want to go into the game and I want to do some shows?
Actually, my friend used to be a coworker, like, oh, you need to do something live, like you do all this art, you need to out there, and into this market. So she stayed and got me into it. I was like, oh shoot, if I'm going to be showing my artwork, I need to make sure I'm constantly improving. I'm not going to put something out there that's not going to meet my standards and have people just look at me like funny and everything, like, oh, you're
Right.
trying to sell me this for this price. So I think that was the big turning point, because I don't want to put subpar art out there. So
Right. So when was it? When were you satisfied enough to say? And then not only that, but how did you determine what shows you wanted to do?
uh, well, constantly improving. I'm always seeing artwork and looking back and be like, okay, I can improve this or I could learn this here. And as far as getting into shows, I've only worked for about a year now or so, maybe a year and a half. My first Comic Con I did was Corpus Christi Comic Con, and that was into art market in San Marcos.
Right.
And just from there, I've just been wanting to look up more and more Comic Cons and art markets to go to. So I have a list. I'm working on it. So there's just to find new things to get into. Um, Art markets, Comic Cons, and then actually, I almost forgot about this. I just got into an art studio recently. I'll be having my first art exhibit in August, so I'm working on that as well. So I'm always trying to find different things to do.
Congratulations. That's fantastic. All right. So you decided you just said you're ready for the shows. Now, preparation for an art show, especially when you're first getting into the game, how did you know what you would need? How much thought did you give to your presentation? What was that experience like for you?
Um, a lot of research. My first market I went to, I was not prepared. I had a blast with it, but my setup, I had just a little end table with a few pieces of artwork on it. Um, I did good there, enjoyed it, but I wanted to do a little bit more. So when I went to my first Comic Con in Corpus Christi, um, I thought I was ready for that one. Um, I could have done so much better. It was overwhelming, but I definitely learned a lot, met a lot of amazing people, and I learned from it as well. Um, so every art market or Comic Con I go to, I just keep on trying to learn and I guess step up my game if you it that way.
Fantastic. So so talk about that first event that you went to. You just said that you had some pieces and whatever. So what was the reception like? What was some of the takeaways and how did that help you prepare for the next event?
Some of the takeaways, I think I just really enjoyed getting my artwork out there. I ended up enjoying it out there. Learned that I probably need to put my artwork on a few more products. Probably do a few more things that people know, but also put my own artwork. So I don't know. I just learned a lot. Yeah, I just learned. I learn as I go along.
So then what was some of the things that you wanted to do differently for your next show? Because was when we were at the fan festival, was that setup different from your previous setup, and why?
Oh yeah, that setup was definitely different from my previous setup. I'm always trying to expand on my setups and gear it more towards the fans that are going to be at the Comic Cons or whatever art market I go to. Um, Corpus Christi Comic Con, again, was my first one I had. And I was trying to sell just originals, and I had a few stickers, and I think stickers do really good at art markets and Comic Cons, especially. So I learned I was like, oh, bring stickers. Oh, I
Right.
need to maybe bring a few more keychains. Oh, like I try everything geared towards, I guess, the audience that's going to be there at the Comic Con. Always trying to learn and improve on that. And my setup is always changing as well. I'm already planning for the next few Comic Cons coming up. Gonna probably do a little bit more anime and pop culture related stuff, but I'm also gonna offer my artwork as well, because every now and then somebody sees an original piece of mine. It's like, oh wow, that looks amazing. That's not related to anything. I haven't seen anything original. I want to buy that. Yeah. I
Right.
don't know. You just gotta know yourself as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what's your plan for 2023?
2023. Ooh, I got signed up for a few Comic Cons. Let's see, I'm going to the Greater Austin Comic Con in June. I'm trying to get into this con called YumiCon. I've been talking with the person, haven't heard back from him yet. Superhero Comic Con, car show in July. And then again, I have the art exhibit in August. And actually, in a few weeks, there's a event through Ekman's card shop happening in San Antonio. I guess that'll be my first art market. That's in a few weeks. And then I'll be going and doing the regular art markets I do in San Marcos as well. So I already have a lot of stuff planned. Of course, I'm going to do artwork for the Comic Cons, my original pieces, get stuff ready for my exhibit in August. I'm gonna try doing some original my own as well. I've had a few fans and me at the art market is like, oh, you're still looking to doing a that might be my next step I do on top of all the other stuff I'm doing. Keep myself busy.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So one of the final questions would be like, so how do you balance your time so that way because you're working full time, and then where do you find the time to work on your craft
Mhm.
and promote what you do? Because working on it is one thing, promoting it is another. So what do you balance? How do you balance your time?
Mhm. Um, it's something that I struggle with every now and then. I'm not gonna lie, because I am a supervisor at the foster care. My hours are pretty long. So I have to be intentional about actually balancing my time. I make sure I try to take care of myself as much as I can. I go to the gym almost every day. As soon as I'm done with the gym, go into work. Then at the end of the night, I will go into the art studio, do artwork for a few hours, then turn around and do the same thing all over again. And then on my days off, I'm adamant about really getting in some artwork and everything. But on top of all of that, just gotta make sure I take care of myself, because I think we live in a society where we try doing too much and we burn ourselves out. So I don't want to do that. Uh,
Right.
I don't know. It's just bounce. Got to work at it.
Absolutely. Fantastic. So now where can people find you if people want to get in contact with you? What's your social media handles?
Yes, definitely. I post on TikTok. On TikTok, it's going to be Mr. Nice Guys artwork, and then on Instagram, it's going to be Mr. Nice Guys underscore artwork. And then I do have an Etsy that I have. I haven't done that much to it. I'm planning to add more to it eventually. That is going to be Mr. Nice Guys Art Shop. and then email me, ask questions. It's going to be mrniceguys.email.com.
Fantastic. Gregory, I mean, I'm glad that you came on the show. I'm sure that we're going to run into each other somewhere in Texas at one of the events. You know, I wish you a lot of success. You're doing a fantastic job with our
Definitely.
future generation and the kids. You know, you're a solid guy. You have a great demeanor, positive attitude. I was glad you came on the show, and you're always welcome back down the road. You got an event you want to promote, just hit me up. You know, and there's always a spot here on Cast the Craze, and I wish you a lot of success.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me tonight. I definitely want to come back again.
You got it, buddy. Have a nice night.
Thanks. You too. Bye.
All right, so that was Gregory Martin on Cast the Craze podcast. Again, the links will be in the summary. Go check it out. If you want to go and get in contact with Gregory and some of the shows that he's going to do, go and check it out. Hit the links in the summary. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. You know, again, when we grow, the indie community grows. And I want to thank you to the newest subscribers. We're up to 660 subscribers. We appreciate you. Again, when we grow, the indie community grows. So thank you all so much for watching Cast the Craze podcast tonight. George and I will be back in the morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Morning Brew with the Crazy Crew. And we're going to have a lot to talk about. So join us. We'd love to have you there. It's a lively conversation about pop culture, what's trending. And also, we're going to be following up on the topic, you don't know what to work on. How about working on yourself, right? You can never lose when you gamble on you. Anytime, buddy. Have a nice evening. And again, you know, it's I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I believe in affirmations, right? Every day I wake up in the morning and I say, you know, when I was in retail and I was responsible for teams, I'd say, you know, you're a great coach, you're an inspirational coach, you're an empathetic leader, you know, all these things to convince myself that I was those things, because subconsciously, the more you repeat these things to yourself, what happens is in your back of your mind, there's a mechanism that happens that says, well, I need to start educating myself and training myself to become those things. So that means you start reading books, or you start looking for mentors, and you start absorbing information to become that better leader, right? So it's not going to happen overnight. It takes time. It's a journey. It's a process. So join us on tomorrow morning as we deep dive into that aspect of really self-development and self-exploration. It's going to be fantastic. And I know you're like, so Sam, this is comics. You're getting deep. But that's what it's all about. It's about the human DNA. It's what we do and how we grow in life. But I do definitely appreciate every single body that has joined us tonight, and everybody that actually helped get us funded on the Kickstarter. If you haven't done so already, go and get yourself a copy of There's Nail in My Toilet, book number 4. There's a catch-up to you. If you never heard of There's Nail in My Toilet and it's the first time backing, you get a physical copy. You get a free print just for coming on. And for a first time backer, you've never backed the books before, you're going to get something free. And all of you that returned for physical copy, you're going to get that enamel pin right here. Here's the enamel pin, baby. You're going to get this for free just for returning and getting a physical pledge. So I got something for all of you. I appreciate every single one of you. You're helping a guy like me, you know, fulfill his dreams. And, you know, you can't ask for anything else. And so check out the Art of Samuel if you haven't done so already. You know, I got a lot of cool stuff on my art channel, and I want to say thank you to the 160 new subscribers in the past 4 weeks to my art channel. This is like, what is going on? I appreciate you. You're helping my art channel grow. And so every Sunday is a new episode. So I hope to see you there. So with that said, thank you, Aurelius, and thank you, Gil Rodriguez, Gilly in the house. Thank you guys for joining, and everybody who's watching silently on YouTube and on Twitch and on Facebook. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Join us again tomorrow. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'm Sam the Crazy Man Vera. This was an episode of Cast the Craze. I will see you next time.
It's just easy. It's not.
No, I was talking about my friend Acquis. I met him. Say my name, right?
This is what you were thinking? Oh,
are listening to
How you
Catch
describe me?
the
He
Craze.
said, I'm the.
You're listening to Catch the Craze.
You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.
Listening to Catch the Craze.
You are listening to Catch the Craze on Catch the Craze.
You're listening to Catch the Craze.
Candy girl.